Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rikakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, so I'm going to be in the 37th Psalm through the Spirit. So start at the top. And it says, "Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity." The word fret, it means worry. So we don't have to worry, about or be envious about workers of iniquity. And the chief worker of iniquity is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, right? And the 2/3, obviously, they follow in his footsteps, or they follow in wickedness footsteps. So those would be the wicked workers of iniquity. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. So basically, don't worry about these wicked ass people out here. Like, don't be envious of the things they have or the things they're doing, of the whatever it is. You don't be envious of the wicked, because when you come into this truth, you know their end. All right. And when I say end, I'm saying E-N-D. You know their end. So don't worry about them. Maybe it looks like they're prospering more than you are, or they have more things, than you do. But our being in this truth, those are not things that we should be envious or jealous or show covetousness. It's not the spirit to be in. All right, verse 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, because they're gonna, like it says here, they shall soon be cut down like the grass. And if King David was saying this, that they'll soon be cut down like the grass, then how much more sooner now? Because we're in the last days. All right. Verse 3. "Trust in Yahweh and do good, so shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed." So always, in this truth, one of the main requirements is not only to fear Yahweh, but to trust in Yahweh. You have to have faith and confidence, and you can't have any doubt, with your faith. You can't doubt your faith. Don't doubt yourself in this ministry. All right? When you pray wholeheartedly that your prayer is going to be answered. You see? Don't let doubt creep into your prayers. Don't let doubt creep into your mind. Because, if that kind of stuff's creeping in your mind, that's a demon that you can rebuke in the name of Yahweh Bashem's Yahushai. All right? So, no doubt. Don't allow doubt to creep in. Let's see. Let me just get a quick precept, all right? Going in on doubting things in this ministry, in this truth. Romans 14:23, it says, "And he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin." All right? There you go. Like, you can't doubt. When you pray, you have to have full confidence that your prayer is going to be answered, and Yahweh's it's going to reach the heavens. That your prayer, because you remember, the supplication or the prayer of the wicked, it don't even crack the clouds, the scripture says. See? These people that are praying to, like, so-called Jesus, Cesare Borgia, their prayers are not reaching the heavens. Their prayers are not going to be answered. That's why the Lord's got them in that delusion over there, believing a false idol. You see. Let's keep reading in Psalms 37, 4. And this is a pretty long chapter, so I'll move with the Spirit, and see how if I get through the whole entire thing. This is verse 4. It says, "Delight thyself also in Yahweh, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart," or your mind, So delight in Yahweh, If you want your desires, if you want your prayers to be answered, you have to have a delightful spirit, man. You can't have like a worn down, depressed, when you're walking up the street, you have bad posture because you're all up in your low state. No, we're the sons. You got to remind yourself, the Israelites, we're the sons of Yahweh. We're the princes of the power, right? That's what Israel means. You say in Hebrew, Yasharallah, meaning the princes of the power. I mean, who's the power? It's Yahweh. So we're his sons, you see? So there's no reason for us to be, walking around with a troubled heart or troubled mind. And I know we're in the flesh and we're being afflicted because the afflictions are are plenty, right? We get afflicted all the time. We get vexed all the time. What had Yahweh Shai say in John 14:1? It says, "Let not your heart," meaning, or your mind, "let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me." All right. So if something's bothering you, man, like redirect your thoughts, pray. Don't sit there and let the demon that's in your mind, wear you down. Don't let it trouble your mind. All right. Psalm 37, 5. "Commit thy way unto Yahweh, trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass." You see that? If you're not committing your ways unto Yahweh, at least making an effort, a conscious effort, and if you sin or you break one of his laws, you're in the flesh. Where none of us are going to be perfect, but make sure you have a conscience about it. You can't just keep doing wickedness with no conscience. Things have to bother you when you fuck up or when you mess up. It should bother you. See? So that's why you commit your way to Yahweh and then trust in him, and then he can, once you do those things, then things are going to be coming to pass. Verse 6. "And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday." So you got to have those characteristics. If you're not committed to Yahweh, if you're not trusting in him, then the judgments are not going to come forward. They're not going to come to pass the way you pray for, you hope for. Like you may no, I'm not going to get into that topic. But anyway, let me go to 7. "Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass." All right? So we got to rest in Yahweh and wait patiently, it says. And that's what the elect are doing. It's not, and it's only reserved for the elect. And like when I say elect, it always starts out with the prophets, right? The prophets are, we're in the spirit of waiting for Yahweh, When I first came in this truth, I didn't know I was supposed to be waiting for Yahweh. And like, literally, you learn things, you grow in the spirit, right? You You don't know, like, oh, I should be in the spirit of just like waiting for Yahweh and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to visit the earth and, bring on the end of this wicked society. Things like that. But then as you grow in this truth, you realize that that's what the elect are doing. That's what the prophets we're literally like waiting on Yahweh. Everything here vexes you, man. When you really get in this truth, you become vexed. You see? Remember what he told Ezekiel and John. He said, hey, it's going to be sweet in your mouth and bitter in your belly. It's truth. So the bitterness is when you're really in this truth deep, and you've got experience. When you start to get experience, when you start to really understand what these scriptures are saying, right? You like now, I said when I first came into the truth, I didn't know that I was waiting on Yahweh. But now that I'm, experienced and I've been, doing the work a little while, now I get it. You really you're literally waiting for. We're waiting for Yahweh Bashem. We're waiting for the chip. We want the chip to get be made mandatory, so that these prophecies can speak loud and clear. Right? We're waiting for that. Who else is waiting for these things? Besides the prophets and then the elect. Who else in this world is waiting? The only ones that are waiting on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are the elect in the spirit. Like if you go to a Christian church, they're not like hoping for the end to come. They're not preaching for they're not preaching for the end. They're preaching for they're saying, and they're in the spirit of praying for things to get better here, so that this place can endure and dwell forever. You see, and that's the wrong spirit to be in. Even if you feel like you're somewhat like happy or you're comfortable in this life, if you're in the right spirit, you're still going to be like waiting for Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're not sitting here like, oh man, I hope this, like me for instance, I'm 46. I'm not sitting here in the spirit of, man, I hope I'm still here when I'm 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. Can you imagine? I mean, me being that age and having to be here until I'm 80 years old, and I'm vexed the way I'm vexed right now, and what I know now in my spirit, like, that's just crazy to even think about. So we're waiting patiently, and remember, patient means suffering. So as we wait, guess what? We suffer. We're vexed. We're afflicted. We're chastised. We're chastised in our relationships. We're chastised in our just everyday life, man. Oppression. Who in their right mind, when I'm talking about the mind according to this truth, who in their right mind wants this place to continue? Straight up, man. And if you really like, if the words I'm saying right now, if they don't really make sense to you, and they don't, you're not in that spirit of like, man, we need to get out of here. If you're not in that spirit, guess what? You're not in the right spirit. You're not in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Plain and simple, man. Let me keep reading. Psalm 37. Where am I at? 8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil. Anger, the scripture that says anger shortens the life. And even in science, if when you get angry and mad all the time, your blood's pumping, right? You're more likely to have like heart attacks and whatnot. Verse 9, for evildoers shall be cut off, because those that wait upon Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. I'm sorry. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. So guess what? If you have a conversation with these people out here in Babylon, are they, when realistically, if you got on the topic of religion or spiritual or truth, like, and you tell them like, hey, I can't wait for the end to come, how many people are going to agree with you? More than likely, they're going to be like, oh man, what are you talking about, man? What do you mean you want the end to happen? And guess what? That person is going to be a lowly in the kingdom, especially a heathen. And really, the Israelites will be blessed, even the 2/3. But like people with that mindset right now, the earth, the most blessings are going to come to the ones who are waiting on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai right now, while we're in this flesh, in this weak flesh. But our spirit is ready to go home, And that's literally like when you're growing in the truth, because like I said, when I first came in the truth, I didn't know I was waiting on Yahweh. Or I wasn't in this, I didn't feel like I had the spirit of, man, I can't wait to get out of here. But then as we learn and we're experienced, brothers can relate what I'm saying. Like you're literally like, man, fuck this place. Everything's polluted here. The air, the water, the women, the even our own people, man, they're polluted. Where we at? 37 and 10. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yeah, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. And that's talking about the Edomites. Because in the book of Job, it tells you that he's going to be, you're going to ask where he went. Like, you're going to be like, where's Esau? Right? Let's see if I can grab that real quick. Let me see the Job. Let me see what this one said real quick. Job 7:10, it says, well, I'll bring this out. It says, Job 7:10, it says, he shall return no more to his house, neither shall his place know him anymore. Talking about the wicked, talking about Esau. Let's get this one real quick. Job 5. You got to remember, man, and that's another reason why we want to get out of this place, because after Esau is a slave in the kingdom for 1,000 years, he's going to be cut off. And it tells you that in Obadiah, that the tabernacle of Esau shall be cut off. Let me see, maybe it's Job 20. Trying to find the verse that talks about Esau being eradicated, Esau not being around anymore. And the ones who are waiting on Yahweh, we're in that spirit. Like, we would be walking down the street, we see Esau walking down the street, and we're like, man, that crosses your mind. You're like, man, I can't wait till I don't have to look at you anymore. Let me see this real quick. Okay, it's Job 20, and let's read 6, because this is talking about Esau Edom, the wicked, the so-called white man. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reacheth unto the clouds, right? Because he's got his satellites, and he's got his, his technology up in the heavens. Verse 7, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung, like his own shit, you know? You go to take a shit, and you flush that thing, you don't never see that thing again no more. That's how Esau's going to be. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. So, yeah, there's Esau, the so-called white man, and the Edomites are going to be literally exterminated, eradicated after 1,000 years of hard slavery in the scripture. In the kingdom. Here's another verse to support what I'm telling you. Esau Edom is going to be exterminated. Obadiah 1:18. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. All right? So he's going to disappear like his own dung, like his own shit. The house of Esau, there shall none be remaining, according to the Bible. And we'll be happy when that day happens. But again, don't forget, he's not just going to disappear without serving his slavery, his captivity in the kingdom. You see? Esau's going to taste, he's going to taste that slavery. He's going to taste being at the bottom where he actually belongs, right? Was it Job that talked about the base of men? The base of men, KJV, let's see. Yeah. Let's get this real quick, because Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's the base of men. The bottom of the barrel, man. And it shows you how his power is deception, because a lot of our own people fucking love Esau, you know? They even believe they even believe their Messiah is a so-called white man. That's how much our people love Esau Edom, the 2/3, you know? Job 30 and 8, this is talking about the Edomites. It says, they were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. You see? And that when you go to that word viler, it means like filthy. And when you come in this truth and this knowledge, and you learn about the verses like this, like the Edomites being vile, like the Lord will show you examples, you know? You'll be looking at some of these Edomites, they're just fucking raggedy as hell. You could take a homeless Edomite in America, in Babylon, and a homeless Jake. And I've seen it. Like, you'll see a homeless Jake, and he's still, like, color coordinating his shoes and his t-shirt and shit. Homeless. Still, you know what I'm saying? You look at Esau, these Edomites, and they just look like the cavemen that they are, man. All rough, fucking, you know, and of course, a lot of homeless people looking rough as hell, but next time you see that, pay attention. You'll see, even in a Jake, even in their low state, if they're a homeless, you know, like a bum living on the streets, look at the effort they still be trying to color coordinate their clothes and shit. And why? Because that's the difference. There's different. You see the characteristics of the nations. You know, the Bible teaches you how all the nations have characteristics. Even the tribes have different characteristics. And it's all through the Spirit we start learning these type of things, and all we got to do is pay attention. But anyway, let me get back to kind of going off the subject. Psalm 37 and where am I at? It says, "For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be, yet thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be." So, it's going to come sooner than we think, this end. And even the end of Esau in the kingdom. You'd be like damn. whatever happened to Esau, Edom, whatever happened to the wicked, right? Because you're still going to have the so-called Arabs, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Hamites, the Africans. They're still going to be our servants and handmaids in the kingdom. It tells you that in Isaiah 14. But Esau, Edom, like I say, he's going to have a rigorous captivity for 1,000 years in the kingdom. But then once he's exterminated, or terminated, however you want to say it, well, we'll still have the other heathen nations to be our servants and handmaids. So Psalm 37 and verse 10 or 11. "But the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace." Meek, and what does meek mean? It means submissive. Submissive to this truth, to this knowledge. I always tell you, like, the elect, they're going to have a meek spirit when they're taught this truth. You don't have to, bend their arm backwards to, force them to believe the truth. They just hear the word and they believe it. The perfect example is in verse John 10 and 27. Let's get that. Because the meek is the elect, right? And this is the characteristic of the elect with this truth and this knowledge. John 10, 27. Yahushua said it best. "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." So that's the meek. That's the who's going to inherit the earth. The sheep, the elect. All right. And what's the voice? The voice is the scriptures. John 10 and 27. I'll read it again. "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." That's who the meek is. Right? Psalm 37, 12. "The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth." And right now, what's the wicked doing? They're getting ready to introduce you to their New World Order, aka the Great Reset, aka the digital, the CBDS, Central Bank of Digital Currency, right? They're gonna implement their new world order. That's their agenda. This is ways that they plot against us, right? Because once that stuff is all laid out, you're gonna have to have that device to be able to function in this society. So that's how they're plotting. They think in their mind that they're going to be successful with the New World Order, with the microchip, with their agenda. But it tells you in Job 5:12 that Yahweh is not going to allow their enterprise to be fulfilled, or that He's not going to allow them to perform their enterprise. Watch. Job 5 and 12, "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise." So Yahweh is going to put a halt. When Esau thinks everything, he's going to be like, "Oh shit, everybody's getting chipped. This New World Order, we're going to be able to track everybody. We're going to know everything about their their life, their transactions, their medical, their criminal, their anything that you could think of is going to be on your microchip, your mark of the beast, as it's called in the Bible. And this is how what they use to come up against the just, like we read. But it's like I read in Job, the Lord's not going to allow Esau Edom to fulfill his wicked enterprise. Yeah, he's going to get 2/3 of you Israelites, majority of the heathen. But the elect, they're not going to get chipped. Because in their spirit, they'll endure. Psalm 37, and where am I at? 13. It says, Yahweh shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword, and have bent their bow, to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Yeah, because they're going to try and kill the Lord's prophets. Who speaks in upright conversations? The ones who speak upright conversations are the Lord's prophets. Right? It tells you in Amos. Amos 5 and 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So who's hated the most right now? Are the Lord's prophets. We got hate coming from all directions, man. We got hate coming from Esau. We got hate coming from the 2/3. We got hate coming from the fucking homeless people downtown. You know? Everybody hates the one who rebuketh in the gate, who speaks uprightly. People don't want to. People in Babylonians, Americans, aka Babylonians, they don't want to hear that this place is done. That this place is getting ready to get missiled up. All right. They pray against that. Those Christians, they'll be praying against that if they knew that the prophecy. But that's why I said earlier, those that wait upon Yahweh, like, we're in that right spirit. We're waiting upon Yahweh. We're waiting. We're like, man, let's get through this Jacob's trouble. Let's get it popping. We're ready to, we're already suffering, so why not just get it over with? You know what I mean? That's the spirit to be in, brothers. Psalm 37 and 15. It says, their swords shall enter into their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. All right, and what's this modern day sword is what I was just talking about, the missiles. Those are the modern swords, right? And they're going to kill, like Esau, he has the underground bunkers for the elite, the wicked elite, the people who can afford to purchase a bunker, which, the Bible tells you, it speaks about the underground bunkers. And it speaks about how they're going to hide themselves in the earth, right? They're going to want the rocks to fall on them rather than to deal with the wrath of Yahweh Shai, right? But Esau's going to kill off his own people with those nukes, with those missiles. Because that's Esau. He don't care about his own brother, right? Jacob and Esau. He wanted to kill Jacob. Same thing. Nothing's changed, man. Nothing new under the sun. Esau still wants to kill Jacob. And he even wants to kill Esau. Esau wants to kill Esau. If you want a straight up example, Russia versus America. Those are both Edomite nations. But those nations, those so-called superpowers, are going to go into a nuclear war. Verse 16. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. Yeah. And it's not just talking about the material, it's talking about this truth. Because we know that this knowledge and this understanding, the wisdom, it's better than silver, gold, rubies, treasure. Matter of fact, this wisdom and knowledge and understanding that we're getting, that the Lord has, He gives it for free to the elect. It's a free gift. But it's not given to everybody. Faith, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, all those gifts are not given to everybody, only the elect. Verse 17, for the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but Yahweh upholdeth the righteous. All right, and I already kind of spoke on that. Esau's going to destroy himself, right? But guess what? When that nuclear war pops off, and it's a matter of time, we know that the prophecies have to go in order. So we know there ain't going to be no nuclear war, even when they try to scare you on the news. And really, the prophets, we have that faith to where we're literally like waiting for this, waiting on Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, to crack the clouds, right? But when the propaganda on the news, it's a nuclear threat or this and that. Well, guess what? We know that prophecy ain't going to come to pass, because the microchip still has to be made mandatory. The mark of the beast, that's the next prophecy we're waiting on, brothers. Then the missiles will come. Once the RFID C-HIP is unleashed, then you can get in that spirit of, okay, nuclear war is like, when they start talking about it in the news after that chip is mandated, then you can know that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is the day of wrath, the day of the heathen, the day of destruction, the last day. That'll be right around the corner, knocking on the door. Once that chip is mandated and people are getting chipped, people are in lines at the FEMA camps or at where they have Walmarts right now, or because it's going to be like that, just like they had the COVID stations where they had people. You had all these different businesses jabbing people up in the parking lots, right?